Hi guys, DN Neo here, and we are back with Project Spotlight. Now, before we jump in to this episode of Project Spotlight and we see what channel or person or persons that we're going to be talking about in this video, I just want to say a few things before we jump into the video. First of all, thank you so much to anybody that has ever supported Project Spotlight, anyone who has then clicked on the link for the channel that I've then spoken about in Project Spotlight. It really means a hell of a lot. The next thing is, if you're confused why you've been tagged in this video or what Project Spotlight is or trying to be, please go into the Project Spotlight video playlist, and there will be a video in there basically explaining what Project Spotlight is. So thank you so much for listening. And now let's find out who the spotlight is going to be on. Okay guys, this Project Spotlight is going to be a bit different. This Project Spotlight is possibly the Project Spotlight that I should have started everything with. This is going to be a Project Spotlight talking about, quite frankly, a channel, a person that if it wasn't for them, I probably and possibly wouldn't have ever tried content creation. And it just kind of is that way. The channel I am talking about is Captain Dave. Now, I've spoken about Captain Dave a lot on my channel here, and I don't know them personally. You know, I never spoke to them one-on-one, which I understand. And with what I understand, they now don't do content creation anymore. But this is really important to me because I think everyone has their origin story, right? I was Easy Gamer, aka Neo, and I started off with a tablet, and then I've moved up, and then there was the PlayStation, and then I changed my name to DN Neo, and you know, and all of that. But you see, my beliefs or logic of content creation kind of started with Captain Dave. Now, I need to kind of explain this a little bit, obviously. Where Captain Dave, I think well, I know. It was in a time in my life where I was really low. And like I expect many people have, I was just scrolling through YouTube. And I was just trying to find something to watch to stop my mind going nuts and thinking about negative stuff. And I found his channel, and I found he was doing the Batman Arkham games. I can't remember whether it was Arkham Asylum was the first one that I started watching, but I remember watching, and although the problems were still there, you know, they didn't magically vanish, but it made it more bearable. Sorry, guys. And I never really had understood or even thought about the fact that a gameplay on a channel could have that sort of impact. And I remember the first time that I started interacting with his channel, comments and such, and usually the reason why I don't comment a lot on stuff is not because, oh, I'm too good for it or anything, but I'm too nervous most of the time, unless it's a live stream. But I just kind of, I feel like I'm going to get lost in the shuffle and it's not going to matter. So I just don't do it. And I remember the first time Captain Dave replied to one of my comments, and it wasn't anything massive. It was probably just, thanks for commenting, And although that was generic in a sense, or we see that a lot nowadays, for me, and in that place, it was like, oh no. My first thought was, oh no, he's paid attention, right? And then my second thought was, wow, he took time to respond. And Captain Dave didn't know what was going on in my life, or any of that, and still doesn't, and that's fine. And I remember just being glued to his channel, much like a TV series that you may watch on TV, or Netflix, or Amazon, or Disney Plus, whatever, right? You're glued to it, and you want to tune in every week, or binge watch an entire series. And that was kind of my binge and my, comfort blanket for a lot of years, actually. And I remember, I can't remember what the series was called, but Captain Dave basically started doing podcasts on geek stuff. So the Arkham franchise, the Marvel games that he had done, just asking or answering questions, sorry. And I remember it was kind of the first time that I thought, oh, even though obviously it had been recorded and he was answering comments from the last video and yada 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 yada, I really felt like I was talking or having an interaction with someone rather than a video. And I remember that feeling, and I remember kind of being like, oh, this is powerful, and this is what I want to do. I didn't know how, I didn't know how. I didn't know anything about content creation, like how to do it, what is it, how do you even set up a channel, I didn't know anything, right? But I do remember kind of having that thought and having that feeling that this is what I'm going to do. And as much as I've evolved in my time doing content creation, I do reflect on that a lot. That if I ever kind of forget, or I'm feeling like really low, with the channel or just life or whatever, it is a moment that I go back to. And with what I understand, Captain Dave has stopped doing content. I don't want to speak for him or speak on his behalf. As I said, don't know him personally. But I do kind of... I'll tell you guys a funny story. And this was... I've never been more terrified in my life. Genuinely. Oh God, I wish I hadn't have deleted it and it was still up. But it was in a live stream. And for some reason, I had got the balls to ask Captain Dave I think it was a birthday stream. And I had asked if he could pop in and just say hi. And and I remember he came in and I freaked out. He hadn't promised, he had just said, if I can make it, I will. And that I was fine with, right? And I wasn't expecting it. I definitely kind of felt some pressure in a weird way throughout that entire stream. But I remember him coming in, and even though, I knew his name, I knew his profile picture, the lot, right? Or his YouTube picture, and I knew all of that. But I freaked out. And I remember asking if it was really him. And rather than just being like, hi, happy birthday, whatever, right? Generic stuff. He wasn't there long, but he was there, and he was listening to what I was saying, and he was paying attention to, and I don't, this is really weird, because this is going to sound really self-centered, but it wasn't. It was, oh my god, my hero of content creation has acknowledged me in any sort of way at all. And all these years later, and I understand why, if he had other things to do, or health complications, or just wanted to move on, I understand why. But Captain Dave, to me, is what I hope. I hope content creation will go back more to that. To that feeling of a human being talking to you and just spending time as they play a game. And I think a lot of that is missing in content creation nowadays. I try to do it, but most of the time I fail. I'm still trying to learn to do that. This was just really important to me. And Captain Dave, if you do see this, I don't know if you're still on the internet. I know nothing, right? I don't have any insight track or whatever, right? If you are hearing this, and I understand if you don't remember, I get it. I probably came across like an utter clown, and just kind of, but thank you. As much as this journey has been tough, and I'm struggling, and I wish my channel was a bit bigger, this is... I wouldn't have even had the thought to do this amazing journey. The ups, the downs, all of it. So thank you. Because if it wasn't for you, I don't think that I would have ever... I don't even think the idea of it, right? I was still young, and it was still... wow, channels are superstars and content creators, and I was still really naive in that sense. And whenever I'm really feeling low or beaten down by the content creation universe or politics of it all or whatever, I go back and I just click on one of his playlists and I watch and I listen, and that's amazing to me. And it doesn't solve the problem, and it doesn't necessarily tell me what I'm going to do about the problem, but it does, as I said, it's kind of like a comfort blanket. And I think that's very rare, in the sense of, I don't know Captain Dave, I've never spoken to him one-on-one. Oh my god, I would I think I'd blow up. Literally, I'd just kaboosh. There'd be nothing left of me because I wouldn't know what to say and I'd be so nervous. Honestly. But the main bit of this video is, one, I'm trying to do Project Spotlight in a new way, i.e. the new explanation video, but also this is where it's my ground zero for content creation. And as much as it started with a tablet and me pointing it at a screen and trying to figure it all out, the idea and the courage to do this, and even the thought of doing this, it started with watching Captain Dave. So even though he may not be doing content creation anymore, please go over there and watch his stuff. Genuinely. Thank you so much for listening. I'm gonna get the hell out of here, and I'll catch you guys whenever the next video or stream is. Bye bye for now.